Great, welcome back. In part C, we're going to use a combination of commands that we have covered so far to perform specific tasks. The purpose here is to demonstrate the advantages of Pig and PigLatin. We will show that with only a few commands, we will be able to perform the same tasks that require hundreds of lines with Java. Let's start by creating a file called excerpt.txt. Let's have a text file. I have copied some text and pasted it here. You can just pick up any text from a website or from some other document that you have and paste here. We do a Control X and yes to save it. And let's create a part C here, subdirectory part C. Inside that subdirect, sorry about that, I need to use make directory. I don't want to list, I just want to create a directory. And inside that, I want to create another subdirectory where the excerpt.txt file will be placed. So let's do a Hadoop fs, copy from local. .text that we just created. We're going to place it in right here. I'm just going to copy and paste it here. Now let's run these commands. So let's just make sure that the file is there. Let's do a cat here. Here, the file is there. So let's run a few pig commands. Let's invoke pig. And again, I'm going to copy and paste the commands, but I'll make sure that I explain them. So the grunt shell is up and running. So let's create something called lines that is going to load the text file with only one field, which is line, which is an array of characters. So let's paste this one. And if I do a dump here on lines, you will see that you have multiple records, and each record is a specific line. Here is each line. Each line in the text is a new record. Now, let's create words. Copy here first. So the tokenize function on the line create the words, and flatten is going to create a list of words. So for each line, we're going to flatten that, and each of them is going to be called word. So let's see the results. So some of these words might be repeated, right? For example, pig is repeated. So we want to group these words together. So we run the command grouped words, create a new bag that groups the words that has a field named word, right? Each of them is named word. So I'm going to group them. See the results to better understand this function. See, the words are grouped together. Pig shows how many times pig is showing up. So let's do that. Let's count. That means for each on these grouped words, we are going to generate a group and how many. Use the word count and call that as a frequency. So let's paste it we're going to create this new bag that takes each record on group words and generate the group. This is the field, okay, the group, and counts the words that are in each group, right? Some of them have one, but some of them have more than one, and calls this count frequency. So if we do a dump on that, you will see what I was explaining. Shows, for some words, shows how many times they are repeated. In order to find the most frequent, let's keep the most frequent at the top, so we can do an order by. So we can do ordered list of words. And I am ordering it by frequency. This is the new name that I gave, to the new bag in the descending order. And so if you do a dump, ordered list, okay, I misspelled something here, ordered list, you should see the same list but in the descending order by the frequency. So you can see in the descending order. So it actually shows the most frequent word. Let's say if you want to limit this, let's take the top 10 words. We can do limit the ordered list, limit ordered list 10, because I want to get the top 10. So if you dump top 10, you can see only the 10 words in the descending order. And you can always, as I explained in the previous tutorials, you can store those back into the cluster. I'm not going to do it here since I've done it in the previous two tutorials. The main purpose of this word count is to show the power. Notice, only a few commands here, but with only a few commands, a handful of commands, we are able to perform a word count, which is the like hello world of Java or other programming languages. A word count is for Hadoop and MapReduce. So we are performing the same tasks that usually in Java requires hundreds of lines. We are executing it with only a few PigLatin lines. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. As always, if you have any questions, please do not hesitate to reach out to me. If you want to learn more about big data analytics, subscribe to this channel. Also, follow me on Twitter at Professor Benny or join my LinkedIn network. You can always email me with any questions.